Hey everybody, welcome to Stoned Reacts. So glad you're here joining me today. It's been a while. I've been watching her. I just haven't been doing any reactions to her. Um, she just sometimes I need a break from her, but I'm back. So we're gonna dive into this one, the hot honey chicken tenders and mac and cheese mukbang. This was from yesterday, and we're also gonna do today's video. So let's jump into this, and I'm gonna actually speed it up because this is probably going to be a lot of eating and very little talking. I have a feeling. I haven't seen this yet.
I have some mac and cheese, hot peppers, and some honey, hot honey tenders I made in the air fryer with ranch drizzled on top.
Good
And
for
to drink a
you.
zero sugar peach iced tea. Bismillah. All right, let's get to. Let's try this. This is, I guess, the only version of like Kraft Dinner or like box mac and cheese I could find. Let me try it. Beauty bite. Mmm. Tastes like sidekicks.
I mean, I have to love the way she actually goes and plates the
Mm-mm-mm.
food. She's actually got the food plated, and it's takeout. Definitely takeout. There's no way. Hot honey chicken tenders. Ugh. I don't know. I'm not crazy about honey, like sweet with savory.
Let's try these
But if
tenders.
it's her thing,
Bite for you. Bite for you guys.
yeah, it's a bite you don't need. Your fat ass doesn't need it.
Mmm.
Yeah, keep destroying your health with every chewing. It's she's something else, isn't she? See, I can't wrap my head around how someone like this has not hit rock bottom yet. You know how like an alcoholic or drug addicts and stuff like that, they hit rock bottom. Like they suddenly, like everything gets so bad, they lose everything. They have nothing. They're like at the bottom. They have no other direction to go. Like this woman has never hit that. Like every time I think she's gonna hit it, she doesn't hit it. And then I think she's gonna hit it, and she doesn't hit it because she has a lot of people around her enabling her behavior. You got her mom, naturally a mother. It's very hard when you have an adult child because you love them no matter what. It puts you in a really hard spot if you have a child who is just different, behaves differently, does bad things. As a parent, it's very hard to look at your kid in a negative way, even though in your mind you know that they're problematic. So, she's got all her aunt, her mother, her, I don't know if her sister enables her, but I know definitely for sure the mother and his sister definitely, mother and aunt definitely enable her behavior. And the problem is like when you don't, if you don't, if you're not direct with people and give it to them straight, they really don't understand the seriousness of the issue. And I don't know if that's the case with her. I don't know if it comes down to people just continue to enable her and they don't really have those raw conversations with her. Like, what are you doing with your life? This is unacceptable. You need to get your health back in check. As someone who was an ex fatty, okay, I wasn't big as her, but I was close to 300 pounds. I can tell you it's so important to get your health in check. Okay, I know I say a lot of negative things about people being fat and obesity and stuff like this, but the problem is that we are glorifying this way too much in society. And it's not okay. Like I understand she has her struggles with the food. There is a true addiction going on here. But unless you go and seek help, genuinely want to get the help and put the work in, you're not going to see any reward. Just sitting back and just continuing to do the same things, the same behaviors over and over again is just going to give her the same results. And what are those results? What do you think they are? Ending up at the ER because she doesn't maintain her health. Number one. This woman spends more time being rushed to hospitals and clinics. I don't know how it is in Kuwait. I can't imagine it's as easy as it is in Canada when you have to go to these appointments, finding somebody that would see you. She's not a citizen of that country, which probably adds another level of challenge for her. It's sad to me to see this woman continue to self destruct. And I know we all sit back, we find it entertaining. Look, Chantal's very entertaining. But let's get serious for a moment. This woman is gaining weight. She is not losing weight. And she is not doing anything proactive to change. Like, if she was in a prison right now and she was sitting in front of the parole board, she wouldn't be paroled. Because she doesn't put any effort. She doesn't try to be proactive about changing and being a better person. And that is a problem with her.
Mm. The sauce makes them a bit less crunchy, but basically what I did was air fried them.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this is an air
Mm.
fry meal. Okay. I thought she did take out. My mistake. Okay. What is that? Is that right? No, wait. Oh,
Toss
mac
them
and
in some
cheese.
red rooster sauce and some honey.
That's
Oh, that's
good.
cold.
Okay. Cool for you.
And voila, drizzled ranch. Now this mac and cheese is different than the box of Kraft Dinner like I'm used to in Canada. This one comes with the powder cheese mixed in.
You know, Kraft is also sold in the United States. It's just not a Canadian thing. I mean, your Kraft mac and cheese is like the shittiest mac and cheese you can buy. Okay, it's in a box with powder. It's like, I mean, I remember getting it for my kids when they were young, and I couldn't do it. I had to make it homemade. I was like, this is so nasty. Like, I didn't want my kids thinking this was normal. But okay, let's get back into her.
In with the noodles. So you had to like bring a cup of water and 100 milliliters of milk and 10 grams of butter to a boil.
Wow.
I didn't measure that, by the way. I just kind of eyeballed it. Mm.
Yeah, keep moving for your
And then you just
feeders.
like, it takes like 5 minutes to cook.
Yeah, because you're a lazy
Mm.
ass. I mean, we all know Chantal's super lazy, right? She can't even like. I mean, she hasn't even stuck to the swimming or nothing. Because
I've never,
we know if she was actually swimming, walking, stuff like that, she would be videotaping it. It's content. Due to her being so boring, she would definitely post that as content. But now she's on this kick. In case some of you are all new or maybe not unaware, but she's on this kick right now. I'm not going to talk about anything personal. I'm just going to keep it about food and mukbang. I'm not going to talk about my husband. I'm not going to talk about my cat. I'm not going to talk about the what is it, a gerbil she has. I don't even know if that thing even exists anymore in her house. She doesn't like cooking. She doesn't want to cook yet. She goes to the supermarket and buys a shit ton of food. Okay, this is my theory. Tell me if you agree or not. This is my theory. What I think they're doing is they buy a huge amount of. I mean, look, for two people, every time she goes to the market, that is an insane amount of food. Okay, for two people, it's nobody buys that big a quantity of vegetables. Okay, it will go bad. It won't last, and we know she doesn't cook. So where is it going? I'll tell you where it's going. I think what they do is they go and buy this abundance of food. They get lists from family members, sister, what do you want? Brother, what do you want? Cousin, what do you want? I don't know what, right? Don't worry, you don't have to pay a dime, right? They go and they buy the food, and what she does is she writes it off as a tax write off because really her channel is still Canadian. So I'm assuming she's still paying Canadian tax on the income she's making from this channel. I mean, it totally makes sense to me that that's what she would be doing because I cannot in any way find any other reason or explanation as to why they buy so much groceries and don't use it. I mean, I think the one time she went to the grocery store, she cooked the chicken pot pie, that enormous pot pie she made. And that was it. The rest of it was like takeout stuff, throughout the week and stuff. Okay, so your produce, vegetables, all that. Depending on how you store it and all that stuff, depending on what it is, it could last a week, it could last 2 weeks. Like potatoes and onions, you could put it in a dark place, it probably lasts months. Um, but greens, eggplant, stuff like that stuff you got to use within a week or week and a half. Like it's not going to last that long. So to me, it makes total sense that they buy these groceries and they distribute it to family or friends. I mean, I don't know what you guys all think. Tell me what you think below. I would love to hear your ideas because I've thought about this for a long time. And it just, there's no other explanation. If she was actually like cooking meals every day and maybe feeding neighbors or stuff like that with the extra food, I could understand that. But she does nothing with the groceries. She rarely cooks.
Ordering chicken tenders because honestly, Kuwait has some really good quality frozen ones. This is Sadia brand. Real chicken. Mm. And you can add your own sauces, so.
Ah, just shove it in. Look at that. All the jizz dripping off of the sides, the corners of her mouth. Take a look, everybody. Just lift your head. Ah, she wiped it off.
The sauce tastes just like the sauce I used to get at like Wild
It's
Wing.
like, it's literally like orgasmic for her when she eats. Do you guys ever notice that? Like her eyes just roll back and her lids go down and she's like and her whole head is waving around. Oh my god, yeah, look at that, man. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the jizz. It's beautiful. Okay. Sorry. My husband says I get too vulgar on
The
this.
sauce tastes just like the sauce I used to get at like Wild Wing.
Just so you guys know, she's not eating this fast. I have her sped up. I can't tolerate her at slow
That's so good.
speeds unless she's talking a lot. But there's too much dead air in these
It's
videos.
also cheaper to make your own. Like,
Yeah, it is. Why don't you do that? Like what you could do is you could get chicken breast, right? This is what I learned. I haven't tried it yet, but I am going to try it one day. You take pork rind, grind it up, crush it until it's like, chunky powder. And you use that as the breading on the chicken breast. Because I love chicken cutlet. But because having lost all this weight and trying to maintain the weight loss, you have to continue to try to eat as healthy as you can. Now, we all have our bad days. You're not going to be perfect. That's okay. But on days where I can be more structured in my eating, I try very hard not to eat too many carbs. I really don't eat a huge amount of food, but I try to keep it as protein based as I can. Um, what you do is you break that up and you use that as the breading, and it's delicious. I mean, why not? She could explore so many different ideas that could take her on the path of a weight loss quote unquote journey. Um, but again, she is way too lazy, and that's what's frustrating for some people that watch her is there is so many opportunities that she has to make good content, but she doesn't do it because she's flat out lazy. She doesn't want to put any type of effort in to build content. And she gets so annoyed that there are reaction channels that are so hyper focused on her, but she doesn't understand that, like, we kind of keep her relevant. I mean, not me, I'm a tiny little peapod channel, but those bigger channels, even though people watch the reactions, like, there are some channels that I watch even though there's some channels, people sometimes will go and watch your video because they're like, huh, I want to see the whole thing as is. I do that too sometimes. You, we kind of balance each other out with the reactors and Chantal. I mean, I feel that way when it comes to her in particular. I'm not saying this is factually true for like every YouTuber, but in her case, if you think about it, if you took the reactors out of the picture, just imagine, just think about her content. It's extremely boring. It's just, there's nothing there. However, for those of us who have been following her for years and years, there's a whole backstory to it. And that's where the entertainment falls in. Though her content is truly boring, we can see deeper within it because we know her patterns, we know her behaviors. We've been watching her for so long. We can always like predict these cycles turning in her. I mean, like this phase right here with the I'm not going to talk about my personal life, la 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 la. Okay, all that bullcrap. She said it like 50,000 times before. We've been through this before. So, yeah, she's boring as hell. But she has to realize, like, the reaction channels are what brings the entertainment to the table. She is not entertaining by herself. But those of us who have been following her, we add that kind of that meat to the content that she's leaving out because we know her. We know who she is. We know what she does.
Get a whole big bag of good quality chicken tenders.
Why not just make it? I'm telling
For
you.
under $10.
I'm gonna look it up. Wait, let me see. Chicken.
Or get chicken tenders one time at like Raising Cane's for like more than $10. It just makes more sense to make the tenders when you can get good quality ones. Mm.
All right, all right. So we're just going to take a pause here and I'm going to share two things with you because the eating part of it is really interesting to me because I was heavy and I lost weight, I had surgery and then I did the whole Ozempic thing. So I have a lot of experience, in the last 4 years. Um I always look for recipes that can make it more that it doesn't have as much carbohydrates, doesn't have as much fat, stuff like that. So we're going to look at a chicken. If we look at chicken breasts, so boneless chicken breast breaded, all right? If I go into this, it says it has, let me tell you, God, the screen's so big. Okay. So one piece, which would be 92 grams, so it's 1.5 small breast. 218 calories. Total carbs 9. This is one piece. 21 grams of protein. 10 grams of fat. Okay? Let's see if there's anything else interesting in here. Okay. So now we're going to look at the pork rind crusted chicken breast. Okay? So if we look at let's just do a comparison here. So 218 calories for one piece of the regular chicken breast. And here it has one serving, which is 143 grams. I'm sorry. Maybe I am, yeah, it's a little bit more. Okay. All right. So it would roughly be about same calories. But if I look at the carbs, 1.5 grams of carbs. Okay, let's just focus on the carbs. 1.5 grams of carbs. Whereas in the chicken she's eating, you have 9 carbs. I mean, that's a big, and you're not going to just eat one piece, right? She's got about 5 pieces there. So if you multiply that, you got the 5 pieces. Let's round it off. Yeah, you're going to be like 40, 50 total carbs. Instead, if she done it with pork rinds, she would only have 7 carbs, maybe. Honestly, she has to make a little bit more of an effort. There are options.
Mac and cheese is a bit dry, but it's still good. By the way, this is my
And of course, I have to wait for Sarah Cooks to do the whole calorie thing because I just don't have the patience today. But I enjoy her videos when she breaks things down.
My table.
Oh, it's not Sarah. It's not Sarah Cooks. I'm sorry. It's Sarah something. I forget the channel. Oh my gosh.
There's a leg loose. And every time it moves, it creaks. Yummy.
Shove it in. Okay. So let's say mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. Oops.
The zero sugar iced tea, I find tastes so much better than the like zero sugar soda.
Okay. So mac and cheese.
You guys, I'm not exaggerating. These are so delicious.
Okay, so she definitely had 1 cup of mac and cheese. So that's going to be around 400, 300, between 350 and 400 calories. However, with the whopping amount that you got to look at here in the nutrition is in the mac and cheese is the amount of carbs. There are 47 grams of carbs in mac and cheese. That is huge. Huge amount of carbs for someone who does not move. She's not an athlete. Okay, somebody's not going to come at me with the argument, oh, well, she's been physically active. She needs those carbs. She has enough fat in her body to run marathons. Okay, like, I'm not telling her to run marathons. That's not good for her to do. I'm just saying she has plenty of fuel in her body to survive a very long time. Trying to see if there's anything else, but yeah, that those carbs are insane. Look, I love mac and cheese, and I indulge in that. I mean, maybe like once. I mean, now I used to eat it like every month, but maybe once every 3 to 6 months, I might have a half a cup. See, here's the trick for you guys. This is from my own experience. Don't deprive yourself. What you need to do if you're trying to find that happy balance in what you need to do when it comes to the eating, don't. It's okay to treat yourself. Like if I have mac and cheese once every 6 months, that's 1,000 times better than having mac and cheese every 3 days a week. Okay. Like some people do. Some people like eat mac and cheese. Like my younger son loves mac and cheese. He eats it all the time. Um, you have to allow yourself to have things that you enjoy, but know that you don't have to have it all the time. When you have, see, I think sometimes people get in that I'm having my last meal mentality. It's like when you go into weight loss surgery, you'll hear a lot of times people say, I'm going to have my last meal. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat that. The reality is that when you do have weight loss surgery, eventually you can eat whatever you want. It's not like you can't. But what you have to do is not tell yourself that you can't have it. You can have it. It's not that you can't. But after you do eat it, that one time you enjoy it, don't make it like that's the last time you're ever going to have it again. Because once you put that in your head, you want to have it the next day. Because psychologically, you're thinking to yourself, I'm never going to have that again. I want to have it again. So instead, know that you can indulge in this whenever you want. And if you put that in your head, you're not going to be thinking about it every day because you know that option's there. You just chose not to take that option. Just my advice. Chantal.
You can use any vinegary based hot sauce and like any honey.
You're a beast.
Whew.
Spicy. Mm-hmm. And guaranteed, right? She's gonna do this. Oh, it's hot, and she's not gonna drink milk or put a scoop of ice cream in her mouth like you should. She'll drink water to intensify the heat, or her sugar-free iced tea or whatever it is that she has there to drink. Oh, make the
Last
madness
one.
end. Why don't you lick the plate, Chantal? Just you know what? Just pick up the plate. Oh, look at the jizz. Look at everybody. Look up. Ah, she wiped it away.
You have to try these.
Let's see if I can get the jizz picture again. Hold on. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot that. All right, screenshot. All right.
Mm. You have to try these.
We have to. Is it mandatory? Well, Chantal said so, so we gotta eat these
The
people.
sauce is that good.
No, thank you. I
Oh,
don't like honey with my
I
meat.
love it.
I'll pass. Thank you.
There's something so refreshing about iced tea, especially in the summer. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Better
Ooh,
watch.
I'm just
Better watch your caffeine intake too, Chantal. Don't be drinking too much caffeine. That's not good either.
in my PJs. I'm not like done up.
Like, I'm not kidding you. You guys should try this. I tried it one time. I went a day without any caffeine, not even chocolate, anything. And I have my watch that tracks my heart rate. So I took that report, and then on another day I had caffeine. And the difference in your heart rate throughout the day is wild. Like when I didn't have any caffeine, it was like so level, and then when I had caffeine, it was like all over all over the place. So definitely pay attention to your caffeine intake. I guess some people get more affected than others, but yeah.
Nothing. I'm just too tired. Too tired
Too
today.
tired from
But
what? What the hell are you tired about? What have you done? I want to know what you. Okay, maybe she's tired from all the weight she's carrying. I could see that, right? I mean, definitely. But what else? What are you doing? You're not looking
you know,
after
some
your
days you just
kids. You're
don't
not
feel like
cleaning. You're
putting
not doing
like
anything.
getting all done up, putting something nice on, whatever.
Oh
So
boy,
I
she's
just
not.
have my pajamas on, my PJs, and
That's
I'm
nice.
just lounging around. Made a
Lounge
yummy lunch,
around.
which I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you ate with me, and I hope you had something delicious, and I hope it made you hungry. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, guys.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the video today. Okay, so now we are going to dive into the barbecue chicken, rice, and fried eggplant home cooked mukbang and story time. Well, finally, we're going to have some conversation. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow her down just a tad. We'll see how it goes. And let's see what kind of story she's going to fill our ears with. Now, as we can see, she has the enormous plate again. I know sometimes camera angles can make things look bigger than they are, but I'm telling you, shoulder to shoulder, that plate is big. Okay. Um, at least probably like 2 cups of rice, I'd say. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it.
I have some barbecue chicken with onions, some rice with vermicelli, and some fried eggplant and hot peppers, some yogurt, some hot sauce,
I love fried eggplant. So good.
and a diet peach iced tea or zero sugar peach iced tea, whatever. Bismillah. Whoops, would help to open it.
Yeah, it
Wouldn't it?
would. Yeah, it would.
This hot sauce is like my ketchup.
Yeah.
Now, I know people were complaining about how big my spoon was,
Oh my God.
so
What?
I found a
Wait, wait,
smaller.
wait, wait, wait. Is she actually. Oh, Lord, help me. God. This woman, I swear. Please don't tell me that she is about to eat with a wooden spoon. If you're not looking up at your screen or staring at your phone, take a moment and check it out. She's got a wooden spoon, people.
Spoon. But also, I don't like the metal sounds. So, all right, I'm going to try this egg.
I don't like the metal sounds. This is her reasoning for using a wood spoon. Now, I'm sorry. Scott, hello. Can we reopen the asylum, please?
Plant. I fried this myself. And let's see with the rice what it tastes like. Yeah. Mmm. I put a little bit of salt and cumin on it. This is a huge piece of chicken. Come on. Beauty bite. my gosh. That's so good. So I want to tell you a story. Sorry if you hear hallway noises, but it's prime time right now here. It's evening, the sun's out, people are coming out like, yay, no more heat. Anyway, so I told this story a long time ago, but like, I know you're thinking all your stories are from childhood. Well, for the past 7 years, I lived my life on camera, so you have to remember a lot of story times were live. But I did tell a lot of stories about my like teenage years, early adulthood. A lot of them I can't tell. My childhood was more innocent, okay?
Yeah, right. You're a pie holy terror to your parents.
So I was talking to my mom about this the other day. I wanted to ask her like details. So a bit of the details might be a bit different. So, chicken breast. So when I was growing up, I remember we moved to this. I was a kid. I don't remember exactly how old, but maybe 8, something like that.
Okay, you're 8. Yeah, we got it.
We moved to this really brand new, nice apartment. The food is fire. Those kids playing in the hall. Anyway, so
Oh no, guys. The kids are playing in the hall. You know how she feels about that. But she get the people kicked out. Didn't they move last time because there was too many families in the building? Oh, Chantal, you are not a nice person. I love kids. I love them. I love them. I love anybody's kids. I'm like, oh, they're so precious.
what happened was we moved in. I sometimes still even drive by it, like when I go to Cornwall. My hometown. It's an older building now, and there's newer ones built around it. I remember one night, my mother and I were alone. My stepdad was working. And I didn't want to go to sleep. I was having trouble going to sleep. I was always like that. Just 10 more minutes, just 10 more minutes. Never wanted to go to bed. I like staying up late. So my mom put on a movie. One of my favorites, Sleeping Beauty, like the original Disney one, to try to get me to be sleepy. And the story just creeps me out to this day when I think about it. So, all of a sudden, we hear knock at the door.
God, she's got to be making this up as she's going. Okay, get on with it.
And as soon as the knock happened, I could tell my mother was afraid. She was like, what? Who's knocking at her door at this hour? So she was like, who is it? You know? And there was no answer. And the knocking continued. And there was no answer. And we were both like, what the heck, you know? And my mom must have been really afraid. Like, we had a keyhole, like we could see through like a key, like an eye hole, and see up into the, not a keyhole, but you know, those things you look in to see who's in the hall. It's like she was too afraid to approach the door or something. But finally she
Okay.
did.
Okay.
And she looked out and she was like, oh, like I saw some relief on her. And I was like super curious, who is it? Mm. The barbecue with the onions. Mm.
Ah, I saw a cut there. Another cut there. Wait, she's gonna finish this plate of food. I mean,
So
that is a lot of rice.
she opens
It
the
is a
door,
lot.
and I'm like, oh, must be someone she knows. And
But
it was this nice man, like a neighbor.
okay, can we take a minute to appreciate this? This woman is using a wooden spoon to cut up pieces of chicken. Are you telling me this woman was raised in a household that did not use utensils? Or is she just like reversing into a form of a child? Like, I don't understand. Who in their right mind does this? Because you know what happens, right? You try to break a piece of chicken with a wooden spoon, it's probably going to slip, the chicken's going to go flying, and the cat's going to get a meal. Like, why would you not use a normal fork and knife? And if you don't like the clicking noise of the metal, why suddenly that's an issue? Why don't you buy some, the throwaway utensils, the plastic ones? At least use proper utensils. You're not an animal, for God's sakes.
Very calm guy. And I remember him like in a calm voice saying, I'm just knocking to see if you guys are okay and let you know that there's this man that was walking, that was like pacing out front of your door,
God,
your
her
apartment
eyes are
door.
just all over the plate. Ding, 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 ding. She's like, wait, let me think, let me think. The guy was, what did he say? What did he say? What would a guy say when he comes to the door?
And it looked weird and suspicious. And my mom was like, what? You know, she was like obviously startled and afraid by that. And she was like, my husband's gonna be home soon.
Aw, you can hear the kids in the background.
I imagine she was saying that out loud to deter, like, in case the guy was still in the building somewhere, now that I think about it. But, like, am I gonna eat this?
Good Lord. She did it. She did it. She did it. It's like a race. And I do have her a little sped up, just so you guys know. Oh, she's got her
Anyway,
yogurt, guys. Mm. She's really, really hungry. Like, you can
my
tell.
stepdad did come home.
I cannot believe she's eating with a wooden spoon. This is
Not long
not.
after.
This is unsettling to me. Her story is absolutely boring, completely irrelevant, and uninteresting. But anyway, what do I know?
My mom was like freaked out. But it never happened again. And it makes me wonder, like, was the neighbor like the culprit the whole time? Like, was he like just making up some story to talk to my mom?
Maybe. Or maybe
I
you're
don't know, because
making it
after she
up.
said like my husband, he kind of didn't really talk to her anymore after that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. But that's what happened, or what we remember. And oh,
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 you're a mess.
I bit my lip ring scar. I used
Ouch.
to have a lip ring long ago.
Mm-hmm. We know.
Here, like a hoop, and there's a scar inside my mouth. And sometimes I accidentally bite it.
You accidentally bite it. How does one accidentally? Oh, yeah, I guess it can happen. My gosh, guys,
Anyways,
look at
guys,
that. She left a tiny bit. I'd say she needs to lift up the plate and have a good lick because there's some good juicy stuff on that plate. She's still got some rice there. She's got some sauce there. And look at her eyes. She's so hyper focused on that spoon. She's like, I did it. I pissed off the reactors. I'm using this big ass wooden spoon because I know it's going to annoy the majority of the people who watch me. I swear, there's no way she doesn't do this shit on purpose. Oh, it's maddening.
I'm so full.
No,
That
you're
was so
not.
good, the
No,
fried
you're not.
eggplant.
You're gonna lick that bowl. Look at your eyeball on those little few rice sitting there on that spoon. You're just like, damn, I missed it.
Mm. I mean, fried, like I just put a little bit of like oil in a pan
Yeah.
and just like fry one side, flip it when it's brown on the.
Let me tell you a little secret. That fried eggplant she can probably get at any corner shop in her neighborhood, any restaurant place. It's very, very popular. I know in my culture it's very popular, fried eggplant. So, like, I would totally believe that she would have ordered it and had it, Scat Daddy pick it up. Um, yeah, let's not forget Scat Daddy, but or get it delivered. I would not put it past her because that would involve her having to heat up the stove, having to heat up the kitchen, and she gets all sweaty. And then there's going to be grease all over the kitchen, which she knows she can't clean because she can't maneuver like that in her body. And the mess. Okay. All right, Chantal,
One side,
finish
and I
up.
put a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of cumin, and it's like really good, really good. So I'm gonna do that with the rest of the eggplant and eat it every day. I could eat just the eggplant and rice, like no problem, with like some onion. I don't know,
No, see,
but it's delicious.
this is where you have it wrong, Chantal. You're saying you could eat eggplant and rice all day. We all know that. Like the rice thing, you've been eating it all every day, all day. So like nobody is like, oh wow, really? Um, that's what you shouldn't be eating every day. Like I might have rice once a week, and that's if I decide to cook because just me and my husband. I might have it once a week, and if I make rice, it pretty much stretches. I mean, if I make 2 cups of rice, it literally will last the entire week. It, she should be focusing on eating more of the protein, like the chicken breast, and not breaded. And if she's gonna bread it, do the pork rind crush. Like she doesn't give two craps about her health, and she wonders why we sit here and make all this speculation and assumptions and all this stuff and talk about her and everything because it's can be very frustrating to watch an individual who's just self-destructing constantly. Like they're just constantly their behaviors, their patterns. Just take them in a direction that you know is just going to be bad. This woman has gained a tremendous amount of weight while being overseas. She's made what 2, 3 visa trips already. We know that she went to that office building, and I saw somebody did some digging, and it looks like the visa office was in the actual building where she had made the video. So, look, she will make content out of any type of chance she gets, and that was a chance for her to get video. And little did she know that people were going to do a little bit of Google researching and easily find out that in fact there is a visa office in that building and the coffee she got I think was on that floor as well. So she kind of she gets mad that we're able to piece it together, but that's the reality of it. I mean, she just I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Let's see what else she's got
Delicious.
to
And
give us
eggplant
in this
is really
video.
good for you. I don't know about the fried part, but
No, you need to be eating more
I'm not down to eating
protein.
steamed eggplant. No.
If she stuffed herself with beef and chicken and eggs, I'm telling you, she'd be so satiated. She would not want to even eat a lot. I know the more protein I eat and the less sugar, carbs, and stuff, the less my appetite is there because I'm more satiating. The protein fulfills that deep desire to eat a large amount of food because I can't eat a lot of steak. I can't eat a lot of chicken. It can't happen. So I get satisfied much quicker.
You have to fry it, or it's like
It's kind of like when you eat pasta. I don't know if you guys experience this, but I noticed at a fairly young age that when I would eat pasta, literally an hour later, even though I felt like I was so full, an hour later I was starving. You don't feel that way when you eat a high protein diet. You feel satiated for hours, sometimes the entire day.
okra. Tastes better fried to me. Anyway, at least I'm not getting wasted. Um, yeah, I guess that's about it. Just wanted to share my dinner with you guys and that story. It's a
Whoop, whoop.
creepy story that happened to us as a kid.
Totally made
Because I
up, I
get people ask
believe.
me sometimes, like, did anything creepy happen to you? I did tell a couple stories, but this one is
Just
one
the
that like really
eyes
creeps
going
me out.
everywhere.
I don't know. I was really scared because, who knows?
Imagine you were scared. I'm sure your mother would have been terrified. Okay, if this story was true, which I'm going to speculate is made up because she does tend to make up stories. And I'm sure somebody out there will go out and do some research and find that, oh, look, people randomly coming to your door and warning you about somebody else is trending. How about that one? Because I know in the past people have looked stuff up and found connections to what she was talking about, the things trending in the news. So maybe some of these super spy people out there will figure that out.
It's like we were alone and my mom was scared. It was night. But yeah, I like that apartment. I miss it because my bedroom had the windows had like a reading nook. Like they were the big windows where they have like a seating area you can sit. So I used to read my um, Babysitter's Club and Sweet Valley High books on that. And I also remember my room smelled like coconuts. I got a gift, a souvenir gift. I don't know remember where it was from. I think I don't know. No, it wasn't from Florida. My step grandmother, I think, bought it for me. It was a polar bear and it smelled like coconut and it was a soap. And I had it on my dresser and it smelled up my entire room.
That's
It was
lovely.
a nice place, a nice apartment.
That coconut probably smells. I saw a cut right there. The coconut probably smells a hell of a lot more than you do now, right?
Yeah, memories,
Can you
memories.
imagine the stench she must be sitting in? Oh, God. Nasty.
Anyway, that was really yummy. I
I
love
bet.
making the rice with the vermicelli. It's like a rice-a-roni. Do you guys remember the box of rice-a-roni? You don't have to buy the box of rice. There's nothing wrong with buying it, but if you want to just make it homemade, it's so easy. You just buy like little vermicelli noodles. You cook them in some butter
She's got to
or
think hard
olive oil.
because look. Let me tell you something. She's gonna think hard. You know why? Because she doesn't make it that often. She might have made it one or two times, or somebody like a friend or family member told her how you make it, and she kind of memorized the steps. Now I'm gonna listen to her, and I'm gonna see how accurate it is because I've been making it my entire life, my entire adult life and teenage life, and I have it down pat. So
Whatever you want. I cook them in butter, like just a couple tablespoons until they're brown. They're gonna get brown. You just put the noodles.
and the secret is you want it to get brown, but you got to pull it off the stove quick enough that the heat that's retained in that pot doesn't burn the noodles. It's really a science, I'm telling you. It's like when you're first learning to cook it, you're like, "Oh my god!" Like my son, my younger son, he made pilaf on his own, and he was like, "I can't believe I burnt the noodles." It happens that fast. Like right when it starts to get like a medium brown, you want to pull it off the stove right away. Take it off the heat because it's going to continue to cook in that butter. It's going to continue to brown. So you don't want it to burn, because what happens is the butter, it leaves this taste in the rice that's very burned, kind of, it's not pleasant. So that is something that would be challenging if you're trying to make pilaf.
in like that. And then when they're brown, you add the rice and the water and all that stuff.
Let the she's skipping a part. Let those noodles that you just fried up in the butter, put it off to the side, let it cool. As it's cooling, you're going to boil water. Whatever, if you're doing 1 cup rice, you're going to do 2 cups water. 2 cups rice, 4 cups water. Okay? But you want to let it cool off before you add the rice. Because then you're just like frying the rice. You don't want to do that. And it's still raw.
In the chicken stock and whatever else, and it
Oh my God, she's skipping so many steps, but okay.
makes vermicelli like a rice-a-roni, chicken flavor. It's really
How about the salt? And then mixing it, and then you gotta lower and put. Oh, you're missing a whole lot. There's a whole lot of steps that you're missing to get it right.
yummy and very easy. Anyway,
Okay, well that was how she's. I'm gonna say with full confidence, I am going to assume she's probably attempted it once or twice. I think that this rice that she's always eating is always ordered rice, absolutely, because it's abundant there. Like she doesn't have to cook it, so like why would you? I mean, I would imagine if I lived overseas and I was just with my husband, yeah, if I don't have kids to feed, maybe I would be ordering the rice. Certainly wouldn't be eating it all in one sitting. But okay, guys, so let me know what you think. Tell me your comments down below. I love engaging with everybody when you guys come over here. I know I'm a little channel, but give me some support. A thumbs up would be appreciated. It does help the algorithm. And if you want to subscribe, love to have you here and joining us. Take care, everybody, and have a safe and pleasant evening.